Growing up as the younger sibling, I would follow my older sister everywhere, and she would usually try to ditch me. I remember one year for her 8th birthday, she had a doll-themed party where each guest brought their favorite doll to play games with. I obviously thought that this was the coolest party ever, and I so wanted to be a part of it. But first, I had to find a doll. Of course, Rachel got to use her cool new American Girl doll. Unfortunately, I was too little to be trusted with such dolls, so I had to resort to Plan B, my Barney stuffed animal. With my fuzzy purple friend in hand, I smiled for the group picture, excited for the party to begin. But right when we were done, everyone else went downstairs while I was told that little kids were not invited. So while my sister was having a great birthday, I sat in my room with Barney. As little kids and as big kids, it's not fun to be left out. No one wants to be the person who doesn't get an invitation. On the other hand, getting personally invited to a party or a gathering feels awesome. When someone takes the time and effort to seek you out, you feel special, and you know that you are wanted. I remember entering 7th grade and attending Wednesday Night Live a few times, but I didn't know very many people, and I eventually stopped going. It wasn't until 8th grade when I started to get bombarded by some friends with invitations to go. They would pester me at school and send me texts in the evening. I turned them down for a while, until I realized that there had to be some reason for their persistence. They truly wanted me there. They were inviting me because they knew that I had a role to play in making the time memorable and meaningful. I finally decided to go, and well, now here I am. I suppose you could say that I was invited to talk today, although truthfully it was more of a, so Elizabeth, you're going to preach for the youth-led service, right? Kate told me that I was invite-told to speak. By definition, a new word using the combination of invited and told. But regardless of how I got here, I'm glad that I get to share a message with you today. When we had our first meeting to plan this service, we looked at the gospel and decided on the theme, Come and See. It fits perfectly with this story written in the Gospel of John. When we take another look at the text, we see 3 main characters, Jesus, Philip, and Nathanael. Jesus approaches Philip and says, "Follow me," to which Philip immediately agrees and goes to find his friend Nathanael. He tells Nathanael that he has found the man who is Jesus, son of Joseph from the city of Nazareth. But Nathanael scoffs at Philip and asks, "Can anything good come from Nazareth?" Nathanael was doubtful that the Son of God would have come from a place such as Nazareth. He jumped to a conclusion and almost missed out on an opportunity to meet Christ. How many times a day do you judge too quickly? Have you ever disregarded someone because of their past? How will we ever know if we have missed out on meeting Jesus because of our snap judgments? Luckily, Nathanael had a wise friend, Philip. Philip responds to Nathanael's doubt by simply inviting him to come and see. I had my own Philip back in 8th grade. When I had almost closed the door on coming to church to be a part of youth ministry, my friends personally invited me to come and see what it was really all about. I accepted the invitation, as did Nathanael. When Jesus saw Nathanael coming towards him, he remarked that Nathanael was really a true Israelite, to which Nathanael said, "How do you know anything about me?" This is the part of the gospel that can start to get confusing. I remember looking at this with our high school Bible study. In conversation with Pastor Dean, we realized that Jesus is sort of a sarcastic guy. In his response to Nathanael, he says, "I saw you under the fig tree." Duh, Nathanael was only standing a few feet away. Yet, all of a sudden, Nathanael immediately recognized Jesus as the Messiah. It seems a bit ridiculous that he believed simply because Jesus saw him under the fig tree. I mean, anybody could have seen him standing there. But what we discussed in the Bible study was that Jesus truly saw Nathanael under the fig tree. Jesus saw his heart, knew his doubt, and still accepted and loved him. Nathanael realized how awesome that was and praised God. But Jesus was taken aback by Nathanael's reaction and exclaimed, "You believed just because I saw you under the fig tree? You will see much greater things than that." Our God is an all-inclusive God who promises us miracles. Jesus didn't care that Nathanael had doubts or that he had questioned where Jesus came from, because it doesn't really matter where you come from. Jesus still invites us to come and see the miracles of God. It sounds like an offer we wouldn't be able to resist, but unfortunately, we are only imperfect humans. Each day we are invited to follow Christ, but sin tends to get in the way. Temptation and distraction drive us away from God's invitation. We all make mistakes in our lives, but the good news is that God invites us again and again, each day, to come and see. To come and follow Christ and to see his miracles. As a senior in high school, I cannot wait to see how Jesus will continue to work through my life. I am blessed to be surrounded by people like Philip, who have invited me to come and see what God is all about. Unfortunately, I still feel like Nathanael sometimes. I doubt God's plans for me when they seem questionable or take me out of my comfort zone. We all have a Philip and a Nathanael in our lives, and even within ourselves. As you go today, I want you to think about who the Philip is in your life. Who is someone you know with blind faith, who invites others to see God's glory? And who are the Nathanaels in your life, the ones who doubt God and are reluctant to accept the invite? This gospel also challenges us to reflect on who we ourselves are most like. As followers of Christ, it is our job to first come and see, like Nathanael, and then to invite others to do the same, just like Philip. If you are struggling to accept the invitation to come and follow Jesus, seek out those who can help you to see Christ. And if you are one who has seen God's glory and follow without a doubt, I challenge you to extend that invitation to others around you. Now, I don't have an actual invitation to give to you like the kids got today, but remember that God personally invites each and every one of us to follow him every day. Here at Trinity, there are so many opportunities to do just that. Whether it be joining the upcoming Lenten book study, volunteering for Meals of Hope, these are both great ways to see how God is working through us all. There are also great opportunities to become involved in youth ministry. You can be a mentor for a confirmation student, volunteer your time to help at Wednesday Night Live activities, teach a Trinity U class, or simply offer your prayers in support of our youth. This is the good news of the gospel, that God has provided us with all these chances to follow him. Now, just as God has invited us, go and invite others to come and see. Amen.